Alrighty, so let's do this. Yeah, so what we're going to be working on is this release candidate feedback that I got from Julian, or Julian. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but thank you so much for this feedback. It's great. Several items of feedback. Some of them will be easier to address than others, and I'm just going to, instead of these, I'm going to turn this into a list that I can address and one by one, and then yeah, hopefully get them all done today. That'd be great. Update that. Yeah, getting close. So this one should be pretty easy. We have an on mouse up listener that we handle mouse up events on the window. And that's pretty much the only reason that's there is so that if I have the autocomplete menu open and you click somewhere, that it will close. But we don't, what we do right now is we say, hey, call reset, but we only want to do that when the menu is actually open. We don't really need to do that if it's not already open. So that's actually, yeah, we'll have to take a look at this. I was thinking, well, we could just do this where it only it checks the is open state and it doesn't call reset. But actually, I'm pretty sure that the reset state, or when we call set state with the same state that already exists, we shouldn't be calling the on state change. Here we have this on state change listener, or function that we call here, and it should only happen when state changed is true, and yeah, so that is a bug for sure. So let's go figure out what's going on there. We're gonna bump this up a little bit for your viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and we'll reproduce this as a test. So if we go to root props, or actually I think it's life cycle. Yeah. Handles mouse events properly, reset state. Open the menu. And then here, let's add a comment. Mouse down and up on the input, or yeah, within the autocomplete node, and then outside the autocomplete node. And yeah, here is we're actually testing it. Let's see, calls our state change handler every time. No, it doesn't. It doesn't call it. So, that's interesting that it looks like we test against what he's saying happens here. Oh, it is forcing a re-render. Yeah, so we don't want to call set state. That's right. Okay, so that makes sense. So how do we test against that? I guess we need to have this be child spy. Just function, and does not call our state change handler when no state changes, does not re-render when no state changes, and so we'll expect here, and actually child spy mock clear, and we'll expect child spy to not to have been called at all. Okay, so then we can do nps test watch. Oh, that's weird. It doesn't seem to have accepted my save. There we go. Okay. So it's running the lifecycle tests. I'm going to When I live stream, the tests run very slowly, as does my editor and pretty much everything about my computer. But I stay productive. I don't get distracted by Twitter, and so it is worth it to me. Come on. What gives? I need to widen this. Huh. It's just, this isn't widening. Okay. There we go. Okay, something like that. That's a little bit nicer. Okay, so we say it shouldn't be called, but it was called 2 times. So it shouldn't be called at all. So let's take a look at what's going on. Let's see, it's on reset. Yeah, so we call reset, and actually I want to do dot only on this. This is the problem with having like multiple actions and assertions in a single test. I normally don't do this, but sometimes it's kind of nice. But even though I'm going to dot only on this, it is going to run my mouse event handler several times. And so like my console logs and stuff are going to be kind of clobbered. But you know, that's a trade-off I'm willing to make for this, I guess. Okay, so there we go. Oh, whoops, let me just take care of something really quick. Okay. Let's see. So here I am calling set state. That is going to force a re-render because I send the next state back. But I'm actually thinking that maybe, I wonder, here, let's just test something out really quick. Code sandbox. Here, wake up, come on. We'll make a new, I think it's S new, yeah. I want to see if you call render and return nothing from your callback, because it's still going to re-render. So, thanks for the reference to Cinch for window management. I actually do have great window management. This is just like full screen window, so you can't really do much about that with other apps. What's the about this project link in the mobile app? Where's the about this? Oh, I didn't realize. Is there a way for me to add a link for what this is about? I don't know how to, that would be cool if I could do that, but I don't know how to do that. But I'll just paste a link to downshift in the chat. I need to learn this stuff better. Okay, so here we're gonna have class my comp extends react.component render console.log, or here, let's do renders equals 0, renders this dot renders return div this dot renders. Okay, and then on click this dot handle click. Handle click is a function. This dot set state with this, and it returns an empty object. Okay, then we'll just do this, and one render, I click on it, 2, 3. So yeah, even if you return nothing, what if I return null? Yeah, so you return nothing from a set state call, and it's still going to re-render. I could do should component update. Yeah, I could probably do should component update. Or or just like pure component. I haven't ever really done this before because I've never really felt the need to do this. But here, let's do pure component. Interesting. So I click on it once. And it re-renders. That's very interesting. I wonder why, even in the pure component, should component update console.log arguments, or actually args, I don't think that would work. Okay. Well, I understand why there's no re-rendering. My question is, here, I'll just get rid of this really quick. So my question is, why does it render once at all? So I get the initial render, that makes sense. So if I'll just refresh this, and I'm gonna get 1, because the initial render, we start at 0, we plus, so we get 1. But then when I click on it, none of the props change, none of the state changes, and so I would expect no re-render at all. But if I click on it, it actually does re-render. And then I continue to click on it, it doesn't. So my question is, why does it re-render that one time? So I'm going to use should component update, get rid of the pure component, and we'll just look at what the arguments are. My assumption is that we're going from like undefined props to like null props or something. I'm not sure, or state. I'm not sure. So, oh, whoops, we should return true. Yeah, hey, actually, that's a good point. State equals an empty object. And we'll comment that out. Pure component again. And now if I click on it, yeah, there we go. Good call, good call. So what if I say state is foo var, so it does have some state, but I return that same state. Yeah, okay, cool. So, or if I have some state, but I return nothing. Okay, cool. So now I'm trying to think, let's see, if I, so if the props themselves change, then it will re-render, which is what I would expect. Huh. Maybe this is worth just trying out, just see what happens to all my tests when I do this. So we'll go here, and it extends pure component. This is the first time I've ever used pure component before. React is just that fast. So let's see if any of the tests break. Yeah, like I said, the tests run really slow when I'm streaming. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's done. Okay, cool. So I think that'll fix the issue. I mean, it fixes this issue that I reproduced in the test. So I don't know. Like it seems legit. Let's go ahead and just do a manual test here really quick. Storybook. I'll pull up Storybook. I gotta tweet this. I just used pure component for the React dot. First time in my life. I need an upside down emoji for this. Upside down smiley face. Okay. Still building the Webpack. There we go. So just make sure that things seem to be working. Green and red and escape. Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah, oh, I need to fix that. Here, we'll just do that really quick. Since I'm around, where'd that? I've got a, oh, let's get rid of that thing. Okay, we'll go to stories, examples, semantic UI. And I've got a problem because this is not, yeah, it's using what I used to have, but now it's get root props. And we just spread that across. And actually, check out this. I'm going to spread get root props across, and then I'm going to get a new error. If you return a non-DOM element, you must apply. Oh, wait, that's the error I got before. Hold on, it's rebuilding. There we go. Wait, nope. There we go. You returned a non-DOM element. You must specify a ref key in get root props. Isn't that nice? Ref key inner ref. So hopefully people won't make mistakes like this, which is good. Sweet. Okay, so now if I mess around with this thing, do Australia object. Yeah, let's do alert selected item. Oh yes, get value. That needs to be item to string. There we go. Okay, so then I go United Arab Emirates. Ah, I'm hitting enter. Let's just see. Yeah, okay, so it's probably a problem with the demo. Oh, I know. This is totally a, yeah, I should document this. If there's I, otherwise nothing. Yeah, so this comes with like, there's a cost to flexibility, and that is users have to deal with things. So I wanted to make it so that you could handle the case where there's not an item in the get or item to string. Let's see, item to string. So yeah, we set that for the input value. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna change that. Just kind of thinking that maybe I should handle this for you. It just doesn't seem because right now I'm just going to call item to string, and it could be called with null and undefined, you know, depending on what the item is. Selected item could be null or something. Yeah, and in that case you just kind of have to handle it yourself. Or I could handle it for you and not call your function without an item. Yeah, I used to handle it for you. It's really annoying to not. I'm just trying to think of a use case where if there's no selected item, then I want the item to string to return something else. But that's what a placeholder is for, right? I'm gonna leave it as it is for right now. I'll come back to it later. Okay, cool. So here we go now. Do Albania, yay! And on change selected item. Otherwise, here, actually, I don't care about that. On change listener. Okay, cool. So we fixed that. That's good. So, rebuilding, rebuilt, and we choose one. Great. Okay, so then Apollo still works, I think. Sort of. Apollo. Alert item. Oh yeah, this should be selected item. So we call your callback with a couple of things. And I think Axios might have the same problem. Maybe? No? I guess not. Oh wow. On change, we're making Axios requests. Probably would be better to throttle that. Or debounce that. Oh well. I'm gonna add a little comment in here. Whoops. Would probably be a good idea to debounce this. Yeah. Yeah, okay, I'll just be good with that comment. Yeah, these other ones are good. All right, that's good enough. Let's go ahead and open up another one of these terminals. Just make sure all these things are passing. We'll add this. We'll make a branch called PR. Frequent re-render. Fix frequent re-render. Git commit. Here we'll have that run of our git hooks. Okay, so that one's solved. That's great. Yeah, pure component makes sense. I don't think that I want to re-render if the props and state don't change. Right? I'm just trying to think. Maybe there is a use case for that, but I don't think there is. So, yeah, cool. That was easy. Just had to learn something. The selected item prop works great, but the input value gets updated only when we finally click outside of the component. Try to select a value on the first component. You'll notice the second one isn't updated fully until you click outside. Okay. I'll take a look at this little demo here. Wow, well, I guess this is what happens when you do a bajillion things in parallel. Things take some time. And this is why we have Twitter as a diversion. Okay, cool. So the problem was that try to select a value in the first component. So we'll choose one and then click out and it updates the second one. So let's see what's going on here. We've got our app. We've got two of these things. The value is being set. Let's see how they're treating the value prop. Item 2 string on change. Well, the on, yeah, that's weird. Boy, all of this recompose stuff is cool and all, but I gotta be honest, I'm a little confused with looking at this stuff. Okay, so there's where we're using downshift, so that's good. I can see that. And item to string is getting set. I need to mute this conversation that I'm not participating in. Mute. On change. I don't even know what this selected item and value. I am confused by this code. Okay. So we're controlling the selected item. Select props dot options. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm very confused by this. Okay, so here we have select props. I don't know where those select props are coming from, because it's using all of this Ramda recompose stuff on top. Not found props. Yeah, he told me that this onKeyDown had to do some funny things because he's using virtualized list. And it's resulting in some kind of funny things. Yeah, that looks kind of funny. Yeah. But we'll look at that later. Oh man, this is just really confusing. Find in project select props. I don't know what you mean by that, rich joke. Find in project select props, because this isn't like an actual IDE. I can't do a search in the project yet. This is Code Sandbox. It doesn't support something like that. But thanks for the suggestion. Yeah, I'm totally lost in all of this functional greatness. I appreciate that some people find it really simple and easy, but yeah, going too far with functional. I had some pull requests in some of my other open source stuff that made heavy use of functions and passing functions around and functional stuff, and it was just so hard to follow. So I think, yeah, this just again is showing me that you can really go overboard with stuff. It's really hard. Like, look, arrow function returns an arrow function everywhere, and it's like, okay, I don't really know when this is called. Yeah, I'm sure that people who are really used to this, it makes tons of sense, but yeah, for people like me, I just don't understand what's going on. It just, yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. So let's try and not understand the implementation specifically, and I'll try to recreate it myself. So it's ds example. And we're gonna fork it. Fork my own sandbox. And he's saying that if you try to so he's saying that he's controlling the input value. Let's look at what props is here. Yeah, he's not controlling the input value. So yeah, the input value will only change when onChange is called. OnChange is only, well, but onChange should be called when I click on this. So yeah, that does appear to be a bit of a problem. So let's see if we can make this happen. So we're gonna do class app extends react.component render okay, and then we'll say state equals this object that has selected value or item and input value. Or actually, he's not controlling input value, just selected item. And handle change, selected item, this dot set state with the selected item. Okay. And so then we say on change, this dot handle change. That is missing arrow. Oh, selected item needs to be null. Selected item equals this dot state. Well, selected item const selected item comes from state. Okay, so it should just still work. Okay, so oh, yeah, that's a problem. Selected item is not getting set. Huh, that's weird. Am I not forwarding the rest to downshift? I am. Weird. Let's go back to handle change console.log this dot or selected item console.log this dot state. Oops. Okay. So then I go down, 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 choose one. Yeah, so that clearly is not propagating. Oh, because I misspelled it. Handle change. Yeah, okay, there we go. Great. Okay, so now presumably I should be able to put two of them in here, and I choose 1 and 1. Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, I'll have to look into that, but I just thought of something about this demo that I just want to fix really quick. And that is that the menu needs to be position absolute. Ah, rats. And the wrap wrapper around everything should be position relative. It is not. So go div get root props. Get root props. Ref key inner ref. And div here, and all of that just so I can say position relative. Probably should just have used inline styles there. Oh well, so then I go down rats. Okay, maybe it doesn't matter all that much. And there I go again, just revealing how little I know about coding. Okay, so I choose one. It's interesting. So it's not updating the input value, and that's because the input value is not controlled, and so it has no reason to update the input value. So if you care about controlling the input value, you have to control the input value, which makes sense to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say item to string equals I, then I.name, otherwise empty string, and then we'll just do this dot item to string, and here we're going to say input value is an empty string, and handle change, instead of on change we're going to say on state change, and we'll have input value on state change empty string, and input value is input value. And same goes for this. Okay. There we go. Okay, yep, that's what I'm gonna have to do. So here, oh, whoops, I think I need to finish this commit message really quick. Okay, so fix on state change should, or fix render should only render when state actually changes. State props actually change. Ref number 119. Get push that, and then we'll go make a pull request out of that really quick. I need to watch the chat better because you're helping me, and I should be watching that. Philippodev, thank you for referencing the typo, and I was not nice and I didn't pay attention to the chat like I should have. Sorry. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of done with that. And thank you so much for this great feedback. I've addressed the re-render issue in looking at your second issue, talking about the input value. You have to control the input value state as well if you want to update it outside the context of the oh, you know what, actually, because the selected item, yeah, okay, so if I'm not controlling the input value, let's back up. I think we should be able to make this work without controlling the input value. Yeah, so basically what we should do is, yeah, where is it? Get rid of all these. Component did update. Should do more than just update status. It should update the, so if the selected item is controlled and the selected item changes, we should update the input value. Yep. So I'm gonna, oh, check this out. So I added Netlify. We can get a deploy every time we make a pull request. A deploy preview, so we can see, there's not really anything to see here in this pull request, but, oh, actually, no, we can, because I fixed this. Ha! Cool, isn't that neat? I love Netlify. I have the same thing with Now, except it's not like an integration thing. I do it with Travis, and so that means I have encrypted private keys in Travis, which means that those keys are not available unless you're making a pull request from within the repository. If you're in a fork, then that doesn't work. And so yeah, it's kind of neat actually that I can do this. And I'm thinking that Now SH is eventually going to do something like this, and that will be even cooler. So good times, good times. Let's take a look at this build, because this should be done really soon. Yeah, okay, it's already done. So we'll squash and merge this. And we're gonna check out master and pull. And then, well, I'm not gonna do a release because I'm still working on this. I'll do a release later. I'm looking at your second issue now. I know what to do. Thanks. Okay, so we've addressed this one. Be-do-do-do. Okay. So let's make a branch called component did update. And inside of lifecycle tests, we'll add test props update of, well, hold on. Yeah. So basically we want to say if the selected item is controlled and the input value is not controlled, then we will update the input value based on the selected item. Yep. Props update of selected item when input value is not controlled, or actually even if it is, because the way that we render the input value is based off of the get state function, which will pull it from the props if it needs to. So props update of selected item will result or will update the input value state. Okay, cool. So yeah, how do we do this? Let's do const child spy equals jest function. Okay, I'm not writing all this out. Let's do this. Yeah, something like that. And instead of this, we're gonna do child spy. Const child spy equals jest function returns null. Yeah. All I need to know is how it's called. And here I'm gonna say selected item is null. Okay. So then I'm gonna say selected item is foo. And then and before I do that, I'll say child spy dot mock clear. And then I'll expect the child spy to have been called times well, called with expect object containing a input value of foo. Okay. Yep. And it's going to fail immediately because it was not called. That's interesting. Was not called. Set props. Well, when you set the props, it should re-render, right? Okay. Oh, it's not necessarily, I guess. Okay, well, we're gonna just live cycle here, and let's just console log that. Just make sure that function's called. Yeah, there we go. Here, and I'll have a marking spot here, so I know which console logs are relevant. Ah, very interesting. Component did update. Huh. Yeah, it looks like component did update is not called when I say set props wrapper. Oh, whoops, my bad. Selected item. Oh, and we'll take props. Here, actually, let's just do this. There we go. There we go. Okay, so it was called, but not with what we expected. Input value should be, or is called with an empty string. So that's the bug. And this is how I like to do TDD. Is I like to, like when I'm iterating quickly on an API, I don't want to be slowed down by the tests. It kind of depends. Like if I can very clearly see what the API is going to look like, then I'll just go with that. But if I'm iterating quickly on an API, I want to experiment and I want people to provide feedback and contribute and stuff. I don't want a suite of tests of an API I'm not sure I even care about to slow me down from actually getting the API that I really want. And so, yeah, by just like writing a bunch of code and stuff, I can experiment quickly, and then when I'm solidified, I write tests on the API that I like, and then when I find bugs, I'll write a test to reveal the bug first, and that's the beauty of TDD right there. That's what I like. So great, let's take a look at the args. And I'm gonna do, well, yeah, I'll just do, that's fine. Running my test. So we get selected item, children. Looks like it's taking all my, so these are props. Here, let's give me a little more room so I get some formatting. Here, let's do okay, let's just look up what component did update gets. I'm pretty sure it's some some combination of like previous props and previous state, but I'm not sure. Actually, I have an autocomplete thing. Component will, or did update. Yeah, previous props and previous state. That's what it is. Previous, here. There we go. So we get our previous props and our previous state, and with that, we want to say this dot get state. Get here. Let's see. If previous props. Well, let's see. This dot props dot has own property selected item, and this dot props dot has own property input value, and not that. And the this dot props dot selected value is not equal to this dot or previous props dot selected value. Then we're going to say this dot set or internal set state of input value, this dot props dot or item to string of this dot props dot or selected item. I think that'll do it. Should make my test pass anyway. No. Oh, selected item. See, ESLint can help you sometimes spot things quickly. Okay, cool. So we can get rid of that. So here we're going to add a comment that says if the selected item here, see, selected item. You know what? We're going to do this. Yeah, see, we're using this in a couple places. It would be kind of nice to have like a utility. And it would be, hold on a second. Props key undefined. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so we'll say is controlled prop or state, or is state prop, because that's the or the term we're using for this key. And here we'll say props equals this dot props and key. There we go. Okay. This determines whether a prop is a state prop, meaning it is controlled outside. It is state, which is controlled by the outside of this component rather than within this component. The type of both of these, well, actually one of them is an object, and this one is a string. And sure, brackets, I don't know. Defaults to this dot props. Key defaults to this dot, or yeah, it doesn't have a default. The key to check the whether it is a controlled state prop. Okay. So then key. Okay. This dot props dot has. So I realize this is going to change the behavior slightly, but I'm pretty sure that it's desirable. Desirable change. And it at least makes it more correct, I think. So we're going to say, yeah, this is different, but here, this dot is state prop key. If it's coming from, yeah, that comment's fine. And here we'll say is state prop and is state prop. Hi there, Ferdinand. Nothing much has changed. Yeah, not a whole lot has changed. I just I'm working on this here, so I'll paste that to you. So fixed a little re-rendering bug. Oh yeah, so the component is now a pure component. So that's cool. It seems to be working. So I'll be pushing out a new release candidate that would be good to test eventually too. So yeah, actually I think making it a pure component is gonna be can potentially really speed some stuff up, because the render method can potentially be pretty expensive depending on what you render in there. So yeah, as long as you're not doing anything too weird in there, but if you are, then you'll be managing your own state, I guess. So I don't know. Yeah, should be good. So we'll compare the selected item, and if it's different, then we're going to set the input value. Yeah, this is Adam. Here, check this out. kcd.im Adam. I haven't updated my list of plugins in a little while, but that should give you an idea of some of the plugins that I use and stuff. kcd.im/Adam. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'll go ahead and save these changes, and then I'll go into here, and I'm going to remove this console log. And oh, whoops, something broke. Okay, I just saw a direct message from somebody that looks really interesting, so I'm going to look at that really quick. So this guy, Nitin Tulswani, is just awesome. He built glamorous primitives really quickly just right before I released version 4, and now he's writing a renderer that renders to Word, like a React renderer that renders to Word, to a docx. And I'm watching a GIF right now. I should just show you all. I don't know if he wants me to, but I'm sure he'd be cool with that. So here he's render React component to Word, and you'll see he renders my document to this file, example.docx. He runs Babel node on app.js. I wish he'd scroll up so he'd see where render's coming from, but it's probably from one of his local files. Then he opens up React Word and sample docx. That is so cool. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, wow. See, React is not going anywhere. It just has way too many applications. Wow. That is so awesome. I just showed, how many people were watching right now? 22 people. I just showed 22 people in my live stream right now. Very cool, dude. That's so cool. And it looks like he can render to PowerPoint as well. What the heck? Oh my gosh. React is so cool. Yeah, that's so cool. Okay. Oh, fun stuff. I have not used React PDF, or I think I've seen React PDF, but no, I've not used it. There's also like a React email, which ends up rendering HTML, but like I think it's actually just a bunch of components. I don't think it's a specific renderer, but React hardware and React VR and React native, all this React rendering awesomeness, especially with version 16, apparently makes it easier to write renderers. So cool. Okay, so what happened here? What happened? We're gonna console log all this stuff. See which one of these is returning false. And I think I'm gonna need to dot only this again and give myself a spot to look at. Okay, so that's interesting. Oh, whoops. But it's true, false, true. So the second one is false, is state prop. Input value is state prop. So it's not a state prop. Wait, hold on a second. Props key, this dot props dot input value is equal to undefined, so that should be true. So wait, it is, oh, yeah, I think I'm mixed up. Is state prop, okay, so it's a state prop if it's not undefined. There we go. And so then I swap these. Okay, let's make sure that I didn't mess up. If it is a state prop, then we don't do anything yet, okay? So this state prop selected item. False, true, true, selected item. Huh. You want to build an API, RacerDD, like a GraphQL API, or like an HTTP API, or a like an API to a library. RacerDD has a project for class to build an API. Yeah, there are so many APIs. You could build a simple API that uses Star Wars names or Transformers names or any of the names modules. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. So if we go to npm.js search names, let's see. Do cat names. Yeah, so find modules like this. There's cat names and dog names and a bunch of other things. Just build an API that serves up a random cat name or something. That'd be fun. No restraints. Yeah, so this seems like it'd be kind of fun. Be pretty simple. You wouldn't have too much stuff. You could build an authenticated version or something if you really wanted to. I don't know. Okay, so it is a state prop if it is not undefined. So a selected item is a state prop, but this dot props dot selected item. I guess I could have just done that right before, but foo. So it is not equal to undefined. So so wait, it is a state prop, right? It is a state prop if props at key is not undefined. That's weird. Props at key is not undefined, and it's returning false. What? This is where like a debugger would come in really handy. So this dot props dot selected item is not equal to undefined, right? That's undefined. That's basically what this is doing. This dot props at key is not equal to undefined. I am so confused. Oh, you know what? I know what the problem is. I accept props first. Let's accept props second. That's the problem, silly me. Okay, so then this needs to... Boy, that could have been disastrous. Actually, I don't even need to accept props. Nobody's using that. Get rid of that thing. It'll just be this dot props. Okay. Right, nobody was using that. Okay. Whew. Boy, for a second I was about ready to hand in my degree. I don't know. I just don't know how it's... don't know. It's hard to get started on something and see exactly what you'd want it to turn out. Yeah, Racer DD. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm kind of want to get this. Oh, I'm not authorized to see. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. Okay, so that fixed it. That's good. We can get rid of that. Get rid of that. And I think that will solve that problem. And that seems to make sense to me. So yeah, if this is a state prop and this is not a state prop and these are not equal, then let's set the state. Well, okay, hold on. Even if the input value is a state prop, we still want to set the state because they'd probably want to know that input value should change. So, yep, so we'll do that. If it's state prop and the selected item is different, then good. Okay, cool. So, commit, or we'll do TA. I just got a getter chat. Let me just see if I can show that to you all. Yeah, okay, I think I can. And yeah, so that's running forever. So the next one's going to be pretty tough. Support for windowing libraries. I'm going to skip that one for now. Oh yeah, so this one, I think I know what's going on there. Okay, yeah, virtual or windowing is something I definitely want to support, but it's kind of hard, so we'll see. Woo. Okay. Do I prefer, why do I prefer Rollup instead of Webpack for this kind of project? Rollup does a better job of scope hoisting than Webpack. At least it did before Webpack actually added scope hoisting, and I haven't really tried out scope hoisting with Webpack yet. And so, yeah, I've used Rollup for most of my recent front-end projects, and it's been great, and so it's a matter of copy-paste for me, whereas with Webpack it'd be a little bit more work, so I just kind of default to Rollup. It works pretty great, so yeah, I still cannot retweet. I want to retweet this thing, but not retweet that tweet because your account is protected. Okay, cool. So let's see, just review really quick. So we added that test. And that thing. And that, yep, pretty simple. So this is a fix if the selected item is controlled, then we want to, or let's see, update input value when selected item is controlled. Yeah. Okay, cool. So another one bites the dust. Boom, 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 ding, 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 ding. Got some more questions here. Wait, so do you use type ahead, or does React kind of have a similar thing? Type ahead? Is that like a library? RazorDD asked me about typeahead. This is built, or downshift is a project to make it so you can create a typeahead. It's basically what it is. Okay, so yeah, ref number 119. 19. Okay. So yeah, now it's the harder stuff. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. I can now retweet this tweet. So go check this out on Twitter. This is so cool. This man is amazing, and so is React. Okay, cool. Alrighty. So now for the tricky one. Yeah, windowing. Okay, I'm gonna actually add an example or a story here for windowing, windowing.js, and I'm gonna we'll cd. Well, let's check out master get branch pr windowing, and we'll cd into stories, and in his windowing example we have dependencies react tiny virtual list, npm install as, are these dev dependencies? Probably doesn't really matter, I guess. Yeah. Save react tiny virtualized list. Okay, actually, react virtualized. This is kind of the de facto standard. At least it's the one that I see all over the place. Here, let's see, react tiny virtualized list. And we'll just go on stars here. I don't really have any significant use cases here, so star it, yay! That goes to show the value of stars. Okay, so it's a tiny one, but I'm going to use this one. npm id. Okay, how do you use this thing? React virtualized styles. Oh. Boy, I do not like having to import styles. That's unfortunate. Okay, well. It's pretty cool. Source. Here's an example. I feel like I need API docs, so. Okay, cool, so this worked. Squash and merge that. And come back here and check that off. Okay, delete that branch. I'm gonna go ahead and actually add that and stash it really quick. Check out master, get pull, vim package JSON, and wait, oh, I'm in the wrong. Vim package JSON, and this will be RC2, and we'll git commit rc.2 and npm publish tag rc. Publishing 1.0.0 rc.2 right now. Okay, so yeah, API docs for React virtualized would be useful. Probably more than just some examples, I think. Oh, there it is. Not very easy to spot when I'm just scanning through, but got it. Yeah, let's look at the source for this one. Documentation. So a list What's the difference between a list and a collection? I don't know. Okay. I've got a row renderer. Okay, this seems simple enough. I can do this. Cool, and we published that, so that's good. Let's check out PR windowing again, and rebase master, and stash pop. Okay, so then with windowing, just gonna copy this. So instead of all this stuff, I'm going to function example return and export default example. And then I go to my config and I import example from examples windowing. Okay, cool, and we'll save that. And here, didn't I have countries in here somewhere? Thought I had a place for countries. Where's the countries thing then? Oh, I think it's actually inside of one of these. Semantic UI, that's the one. There it is. So, new file, countries.js. Import countries from countries. That'll be one directory up. Export default the countries I have here. And then we'll import, countries from countries. Okay. Instead of list, it'll be countries. And here, let's go back to the basic here. Yeah, we'll just build it from scratch. We'll import downshift from source. And I feel like I'm missing something. Hi there, Chops316. Thank you for thanking me. Yeah, okay. Cool, so here in our examples, we're gonna have a div, and we'll put this list in there. And we'll say windowing example, and we'll have another div here. We'll make this an H1. we'll just leave that where it is right now. I have a downshift. This will be an arrow function that returns a div, and it's going to have get input props and get item props and get everything else in the world props. I don't know, get yeah, that'll probably be it for right now. So then we have input, get input props, and oh yeah, we want is open, and something otherwise null, and this something here is going to be our list. And the list, or the row renderer, that's kind of unfortunate. I would rather not have to inline this, but it appears we have no choice. Okay, and then this one's going to be get item props. Okay. It's interesting. Key index. Okay. We'll leave that documentation there. That's kind of handy. So the value here, or the item, is countries at index, and the index we also need to provide, and I guess we'll pass the style as well. Okay, cool. So this is going to be totally busted, is my assumption. Oh, something's busted. Get countries is not defined. Get countries. Okay. There we go. Now we go to windowing. Windowing is not defined. Windowing. Config. Windowing. Okay, here we go. Windowing example. And hit down, and already stuff is busted. Objects are not valid. Code name. Oh, yeah, okay. So here, countries is not just an array of strings. It is, in fact, an array of objects, and we want name here. And yeah, let's just see what that does. Rebuilding, building. Okay, and down arrow key. Sweet. Okay. Now, we're also gonna get. Well, here, let's open that. Well, yeah, delete and get rid of the config and the lifecycle test. But here we do have the selected item and highlighted index. So here we'll do selected highlighted index, and say style. And I'm gonna just copy, I think it's the Apollo example. It just does some basic this stuff. Okay. That should give us a little bit more of an idea here. Okay, cool. Whoa. Oh, that's kind of funny. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. This is actually really cool. I can just be like, is open true? Except it takes forever to rebuild. Okay. So then I can get this. And it's yeah, it's just rendering a couple extra. And so a couple ahead and a couple behind, I think. Yep, just a couple behind. So it is windowing, so that's kind of cool. We'll do a smaller height, like 200. And yeah, it seems to be setting the ID properly, which is kind of cool. And the status message is getting updated. So all that is working, but yeah, sometimes the highlighted index is not getting set properly. Or like it's falling behind somehow. Huh. Very interesting. Yeah, so I think actually this seems to be working okay with React virtualized. So the problem appears to be specific to React tiny tiny React virtualized list. So I might need to do another. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Seems to be working okay. Anybody who wants to take it a little further can. Oh, that's interesting. So if I hold down the shift, it jumps 5, and I can jump out of the virtualized list. Huh. Yeah, okay, that's problematic. That's interesting. It has a tab index of 0. Huh, fascinating. Yeah, huh. Well, okay, so we're going to do a on state change and console log the state. On state change. that's kind of annoying. Come on, expand that automatically for me, will you? Fine, then I'll spread it. Ah, that's interesting. It goes down to the bottom. Yeah, because it when it says, hey, highlighted index. So maybe I need to, so like, this is totally possible for you to work around and kind of by yourself. You can control the highlighted index. Yeah, but if there's a way I can make it easier, that would be good. So, let's see. So these key down handlers, this move highlighted index. I think I might want to give a plug into move highlighted index. Change highlighted index by the amount. Yeah, this .items.length. So the items, we assume that the items that you've rendered is the full list. That's what it is right there. So anywhere that we say this .items.length, yep. Yeah, so we need to expose a prop, or we'll expose a prop to get the length of items. Yeah, so it'll be a function, and it'll be this.props.get item count, and it will default to this. Okay. Get item count prop types.func, and get item count is yeah, okay, this dot get props get item count. Actually, this is incorrect. We put that -1 back. There we go. So then in here we go get item count, be a function that returns countries.length. The problem is though that we can set the highlighted index and that's all fine, but what that does is it tries to scroll that item into view, but that item doesn't exist. So we need to allow you to scroll it into view to control that, how that's scrolled in a virtualized environment. So let's see. I'm going to remove this maybe business here. In fact, I'm going to just remove this altogether. Just put this all right here. Oops. There we go. That ensures that when our callback is called, we get the fresh state, just in case, who knows what's going on when all these callbacks are called. Especially in React 16, I don't know what's going to happen. So I really should try some of this stuff with React 16. If anybody wants to test it out, then be my guest. Okay. So I need to be able to control scroll highlighted index, or yeah, scroll highlighted index into view, or scroll item. What should it be called? Scroll item into view. This.props.scroll item into view. Yeah, except I want it to be props.scroll item into view. Do we need anything more than just the highlight? Let's do this dot get state. Okay. Scroll item into view. Won't we also get the problem that the length of the filtered list might be shorter? I'm not sure what you mean, Alfred, if you want to be more specific about that. Scroll item into view, prop types func, and the default of that, scroll item into view, will be, and this cannot be an arrow function actually. This must be a method. This one also, because this stuff, weird. And this will take highlighted index. Okay. So this should allow us to scroll things as we wish. So, virtualized scroll. Scroll to index. Highlighted index. Now that's interesting. Will that work? I think it shall. In which case we don't even need the scrolling control, but we can have it, and that's fine. Okay. Get item node from index. Okay. Oh. Props. Rats. Yeah, because we're calling it on props, and that's why this isn't bound to props. And so in that case, we're gonna do yeah, that's kind of annoying. I'm kind of thinking, I was having this weird thought this morning where maybe one way to extend or to change internal behavior isn't to expose all these functions as props that you can override some specific behavior, but instead you extend the downshift component. So it's a class, and you extend that class and override the methods that you want to care about. But that makes me scared because we actually don't have protected fields yet. So I could use a weak map, but I don't know how bad the weak map polyfill is and as far as size goes. And so then I could just rely on underscores, but we all know how well that underscore prefix works. And then also, like, if I don't do any of that, then people can do anything, and I could break them really easily by just changing the name of something, like some internal stuff, and I don't want to do that. So I think I would rather do it this way. But what it means is that I have to do .call this here, apply, right? I always forget the difference between apply and call. Call and apply. Yeah, okay, call. Yeah, get length, or this .props .get item count. We'll also have to do the same thing, .call this. So that'll work. So Alfred, you were talking to me. When filtering with the input value inside the render callback, the item count must be less than the item count of the whole list. So if we want to navigate to the bottom of the list, like using the arrow up or by jumping, the total item count is not a reliable limit. Very true. Yes, that makes sense. Yeah, so this get item count needs to filter in the same way we would be filtering the list. In which, yeah, in our case, we're actually not filtering it, but we should be. So let's go ahead and add that filtering capability. Item prop, countries. Oh, row count. Okay, yeah. So it'll be, that's interesting. So we've got oh, yeah, okay, I'm gonna do this a little differently. We could continue on with our weird function stuff that we're doing, but we're not gonna do that. So what we're gonna do instead is we're gonna make a class called example that extends React component, and we're gonna have a render that returns this giant thing, and then we're going to have why is that red? Oh, and then we're gonna have some state, and this is gonna have our items, which will default to countries, and we'll have the input value, and we'll have on our handle state change input value if the input value is changed. Well, let's see. Yeah, we'll just this dot set state input value, and then here we'll say input value equals input value, and we'll get that input value and the items input value from this dot state, and then we're also going to import match sorter from match sorter, and when the input value changes, then our items will also change. Input value question mark, then match sorter on something, otherwise it'll be countries. Okay, so let's see, what is our match sorter for countries? We'll do an advanced filter on the items, countries, and the value, input value. And actually, you know what, we'll say return, return value, and this, otherwise the items. That way we don't have to do that logic in here. Make it a little bit nicer, and yeah, so then we have items, and countries.length, and then this will be items.length. Okay, so that'll fix that. Thank you. I love writing code, don't you, sir? RacerDD says, yes, I do love writing code. I like it when I think of something and I'm like, how am I going to do this? And then it comes to me, and then I just like churn it out really fast. And at that point, I'm like, why can't I just be like in the Matrix or something, like controlling it with my brain? Because I'm like, it's too slow, too slow. Input value is undefined. Where is that happening? Weird. Input value is undefined. Oh, wait. Right here. There we go. Thanks, Alfred, for bringing that up. Couldn't have done it without you. Okay, so the highlighting is still working, and then I say, oh, whoops, I haven't hooked in handle state change yet. So let's do that. This dot handle state change. And it's rebuilding. And okay, so the highlighting's still working. If I say United States, boom. Oh, whoops. United. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I thought that might happen. So, unfortunately, we're going to say changes. Kind of thinking that the onState change should send all the state, but it is kind of nice to know what state changed. So, if changes dot has own property input value. So we only care about the changes of input value. Const input value changes. So there we go. Okay. United. Boop, boop, boop. Do, 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 do. Object, object. Okay. So item to string is I dot name, otherwise empty string. And yeah. Rebuilding, and Germany. Cool, right? Yeah, okay, so that is working. Funny, Afghanistan matches Ghana. It's kind of interesting. Okay, so yeah, I don't actually have a way to reset stuff, so I'm gonna refresh. Scroll index required. Its value is null. Scroll to index. Highlighted index. Or 0. Yeah, we'll fix that problem. Okay, I've got somebody who's asking me about downshift from work. Let me just respond really quick. I don't want to open up Slack because then my computer will really die. So, and there's downshift at RC and check out, oops. Okay. Holy mackerel. My watch sometimes doesn't realize that I've gotten notifications, and so finally, eventually, it'll be like, oh, you got like 12 notifications and buzz a million times on my wrist. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, yeah, let's see how, oh, snap. Well, that just worked. Sweet. Oh, yeah. I'm really liking this. Woo, woo, woo. You know what's wild is that every single time I press a key, it's re-rendering the entire thing. I gotta tweet this. Twitter. And so actually I'm not, I guess I am exposing one thing that we're using now, get item count, but I don't have to do anything for scroll item into view. Well, I guess here we'll do scroll item into view because I don't want them to do anything, but it's not really needed, I guess. I don't know. because we're going to handle it ourselves with the scroll to index, which is pretty cool. That is a declarative API. Very nice. Okay. Just got downshift working with React virtualized. Downshift emoji. React virtualized is like one of those camera things, I guess. Beautiful. And I'm gonna apologize. Sorry, Brian. I wasn't sure how to turn your what emoji to use for your logo. Shrug. But it's pretty slick. Okay. Cool. So that was fun. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna make 2 examples here. Let's see. I'm gonna rename this from windowing to with React virtualized, and we'll go to our config. Get that with React virtualized. React virtualized, because I also want to make sure that it works for the React Tiny whatever PMID. It's actually not a dev dependency. React Tiny virtual list. So here's a tip. If you're worried about the whole typo squatting problem, go to the npm page first, copy in the URL, and paste it. Then you won't make typos. It'll be great. Except that's really not a very fun experience. It's just sad that there are mean people in the world who will do mean things. Okay. Now let's look at the docs for this thing. Looks like it'll largely be the same, so I'm gonna we'll duplicate this, windowing with React Tiny virtual list and Tiny virtual list. And instead of pulling out, we'll do virtual list, and still render item, or render item, and here it takes index and style. And actually on my other one, React virtualized, I'm not using lots of these variables. I'm using the key and the index, but not is scrolling or is visible. And I'm using the style, I guess. I don't know. And actually, while I'm here in this file, tiny virtual list with React Tiny virtual list. Oops. With React virtualized. With React Tiny virtual list. Okay, cool. So I got that all in there. And get rid of that, and Okay, so let's see. We've got width, height, item count. Doing all that. And instead of row count, it's item count. And item size. And render item. It's going to give us an index and style. So no key this time, but we do get the style and we can get the key. Or we get the index so we can get the key. So we say items at index dot ID. I don't think it's ID. What is it? Code. Code. Okay. Cool. And scroll to index, also fully supported. Nice. So I'm feeling pretty good about not having to expose the scroll item into view right now. So I'm going to get rid of that because I don't really like it a whole lot. Get rid of that. Get rid of these. Oh, whoa. Close call. That could have been bad. But yeah, this get item count we do need to have. And we can get rid of this thing. And this thing. Okay, and it should work with both. Whoa! Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure what's happening is I'm saying scroll item into view, and it's like, or I'm saying scroll to index, highlighted index. It's like, oh, okay, I'll scroll to that index. But yeah, that's, yeah. Huh. But it's scrolling it to the top, even if it doesn't need to be. Scroll alignment. Start, center, or end. What if I just want it to only scroll? I want it to only scroll if it's necessary. I'm just going to call that a bug. How do they do that? Scroll to index. Okay. Yeah. Hold on a second. Oh, wait. That makes sense. Control scroll offset. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, Yeah, it seems to me that's a bug. But he was doing something different. He had like an imperative API he was calling into. Scroll to index. What's this scroll function? There it is. Scroll props next scroll props. What is this? Get scroll props. So I guess for us to make this work, we need to be like, get the highlighted index. So it seems almost like we need to say, like find the item node. So I guess I could put a ref on here. And so I'd say ref equals item node. This dot item nodes at index equals here, what we'll do here actually. Oh no, that's row render. So we're going to do this. Open, return, and close. And every time that we render here, we're going to say this dot item nodes is an empty array. And ref item node, this dot item nodes at index equals item node. Oh, oh, whoops. Yeah, this is inside of a JavaScript object. So, okay, and then no, that's all messed up. Back. Get rid of that. Okay, sorry, I'm getting a bunch of buzzes. Sorry, more work stuff, but I don't want to pull up Slack, so 1 second. Hold on a second. There it is. Boy, I missed a bunch of stuff. Sorry, I should probably just say I'll be right back, but I'm pretty much done. Okay, cool. And okay, this I can do on the computer. Okay, just one more thing I need to do before I can get back on this. Okay, yeah, so React virtualized is good, but tiny virtualized list is yeah, gonna have some trouble here. Item size, is it really 20? I just realized that I didn't actually care to look, inspect. Height 20 pixels, I guess that works. Doesn't really make a difference. So, okay, so what I was gonna do, or what I wanted to do is I need to be able to figure out, okay, what is the, is that node visible? That's basically what I need. And if I could debug right here, and maybe that would be helpful. So let's do this. Div, and we'll return, put a debugger. That's interesting. My debugger does not seem to be... Oh, that's right. Thank you. Yeah, prettier ESLint removes that debugger statement for me. Thanks a lot, but not really. Mostly not. Thank you. Okay. So if we go arguments, and yeah, that's all we get is index and style. I want to have more context, like is visible or is scrolled or something, but it doesn't give me that. So that's kind of what I'm gonna, let's just look at the implementation here really quick and see if they could give that to me. Or even like the node, so I can determine if it's visible or something. Render item. Or yeah, I pretty much just want to be able to say scroll to index. Get offset scroll to. So the scroll to function root node scroll prop scroll direction value. Okay, so it's basically want scroll to only scroll if it's not already visible. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I know that it would be possible to support things otherwise, but I don't want to spend any more time on this. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna add a note up here. Oh, there's a parsing fail somewhere. Oh, rats. Okay, so I'm gonna add a note right here. This is a work in progress. See issue. Filter nothing. It'll be number 19. Number 19 on tiny virtualized list. Okay, cool. So with that, support only scrolling into view, scroll to index, or support scroll to index if necessary. Yeah, something like that is basically what we need. And play through about 1 million times. Okay, refresh. I'm trying to support React tiny virtual list in a nice way in downshift. And it would be very helpful if there were a way to have React Tiny virtual list. Probably should link to what this thing is. Probably has no idea. Only scroll to an index if that node is not currently visible. See this example and the live demo here. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, let's go ahead and open up our README. Check out the diff really quick. What did we change? Oh, whoops. Whew. Close call. Do not want that to be in my dependencies. Thank you very much. Whoops. And we'll go, I want this to be in the stories dependencies. Okay. And yeah. So let's do this again. Go to README. Yes, I am using Atom. Here, I posted a link to this a little while ago, but here you are. If you're interested what plugins I use, I haven't updated it in a little while, but it should give you an idea. Okay, on click, or here, let's see, on state change. Here we'll add a get item count function that accepts the accepts nothing. Does it need anything? I don't think so. Optional defaults to adding up the items you render. And I just moved that. Yeah, okay. So this is used or useful if you're not or using some kind of virtualized virtual listing component like for windowing, like React virtualized. There we go. Okay. And so we document that thing. And do. Commit. Let's see. Feature get item count. Add get item count to support windowing better. And we'll push that as soon as it's finished. And then I'm going to So I kind of solved the general problem there. Oh yeah, and this problem, I think was something else. Yeah, I think I actually solve all of those with this change. What on earth is going on? With this change combined with the fix that React Tiny Virtual List will need, but React Virtualized works great. I guess I didn't really test it super well, but I think it works great. "43 seconds to run that test." Yeah, live streaming does wonders to my box. You probably can't hear it, but my fan is like the entire time is just like. Brian says he's tuning in. Hey Brian, if you're here, hello. Wave at Brian. Okay, 1 second, I need to do something. Okie doke. Cool, so now we go here to downshift, and it should pop up a little doodad. We compare and pull request this thing. And, oh, whoops, I didn't push. Let's go to checkout master, push that, checkout back here, and refresh. This adds get item count. Okay, yeah. Blah, 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 blah. I should be a better example, but goodness gracious, this thing isn't even released yet. I'm just going to squash a merge ref number 119. And we'll just make sure that we can build it. And look at the deploy. Isn't this so cool? I love this. This is awesome. And it actually deploys really quickly. It'll have to, it takes a little bit more time to install dependencies. Because it's, oh wow, that was pretty quick actually. But it did need to install virtualized and tiny virtualized list. So React Virtualized depends on Babel runtime. I think that is wrong, and probably a problem. I don't think it actually depends on that. Maybe in dev dependencies, and it's accidentally listed. Dependencies, Babel runtime. I really hope it doesn't actually use Babel runtime. Oh, wait, no, I'm thinking of something totally different. Yeah, it totally can depend on Babel runtime. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, cool. Very good. Then this thing is probably almost done. Site is live. And this one, still installing dependencies. Come on. Site is live. Can you give me like a link to this deploy? It'd be cool if this like showed me a link to the live site. That would be nice. Instead, I have to wait for this to update, which who knows when that'll update. Hey, Brian. Okie doke. So, I just kind of want this to build, but it's taking forever. There we go. Yeah, it ran all the test suites. Okay, we're good. Squash that. This is what happens when you live stream. I guess it just keeps going slow. When my computer moves slower than my brain, that's when I don't like computers. Okay. Cool. So, oh, wow. 1,000 downloads a month already? Who's downloading this thing? Code Sandbox, I guess. Wow. That's fun. Look at that jump. It's actually still not officially downshift yet. I still haven't heard back on whether that name is okay with PayPal. So it could change at any time. So just be aware. This could change for a 4th time. Okay, let's look at our commit status here. Make sure things are good. It's not just Travis that should be deploying. Let's see, downshift.netlify.com. And as soon as we get it's not there yet. Hasn't been released yet, but here, this is, well, get rid of that thing. Oh, sweet. Russian translation on Glamorous website is ready. Brian, you probably came because you were interested in how virtualized list or React virtualized works with downshift. So I'll just show you really quick. We've got a store here for virtualized, and here's what we do. So we keep track of so we manage filtering in state. So whenever the input value changes, then we update the items that we're going to render. And then inside of downshift, we have to say, I look tired. Do I look tired? Then we have to say get item count here to return the item's length. I made that a function, but now I'm wondering if that should just be not a function. Yeah, like, because in this case we don't need it to be a function. I'm going to change that really quick. I'm going to change that. I already merged the thing, so that's too bad. But let's check out master git pull and make a branch called pr break things. I didn't release it yet, so that works. So we're going to change this from get item count to, well, wait, no, actually, because I do want it to be yeah, I do want it to be dynamic. Okay, yeah, we'll leave it as get item count. Yeah, so I'll check out master and get branch dpr break things and get update everything, delete all these old branches. Okay, so I say get item count, and then down in here, well, we've got the input nothing special there. And we only render this if it's open, and if it is, and then we render your list. And this scroll to index thing is pretty awesome. So I just pass the highlighted index, and you'll scroll as much as you need to, and that's why React Virtualized is easier to use in this scenario than React Tiny virtualized list. Yeah, because it'll scroll it to the top automatically, so that kind of messes things up bad. Let's see, Brian said, seems like you'd just be a prop unless you want item count to be able to change without re-render of your component, assuming you can invoke the getter function in your render before declaring the downshift element. But I don't really know anything. What happened to React Autocompletely? This is React Autocompletely. I changed it because this is good for building more than just autocomplete components. It's good for like drop-downs and multi-selects and all kinds of stuff. So I changed it to a meaningless name so that people will at least look into it, because I already saw people say, oh, I don't need autocomplete, I need a drop-down. So I'm not going to use React Autocompletely for that. But if you use a meaningless name, they'll hear downshift. Well, what's that? They'll ask rather than assume. So anyway, yeah, it changed to React Cadabra too. Yeah, it's kind of funny. But yeah, Brian, so the reason that I'm going to leave it to as a function is because internally I get the item count whenever you click up and down. And in some of these examples, in one of these where we're using Axios, we actually, I guess we do store state or items in state, so it would re-render in that case too. But like you could render these items at any time. Like this, where you're rendering these items could be inside of another component that manages state inside of itself. And so I didn't want to be too heavy-handed on that, and so maybe using a function is probably better. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to do there. Because if I use a prop, just a regular prop, then it is simpler. But if I use yeah, maybe I should just use a prop. I think I'll just use a prop. Okay, I'm going to use a prop. Get BPR break things. And we're going to change this from get item count to item count. And we'll just do items.length. And then we're going to come back in here, do the same thing here. Yeah, item count is items.length. Okay, and then inside of the source we'll go downshift, get item count. It's going to be item count, oops, not number, and or num. Oh, it's never used, that's why. Okay, and then item count. Yeah, we're not going to have a default. Get item count. So this dot props dot item count. Here, actually, we'll have a function called get item count. Get item count is an instance function. Say if this dot props dot item count is not equal to undefined, and return this dot props dot item count. Otherwise, we'll return this dot items dot length. Yeah, items dot length. And I need to loosen up on the ESLint because sometimes this really is annoying. Okay, and then we don't need to do that call thing anymore, and it doesn't need to be on props, it's on the instance. Oh, and in fact, It doesn't even need to be an instant or a member, because we're going to be calling it on the instance all the time. This dot get item count. There we go. So that should make it better. In other news, this is probably done. And we have it right. Yeah, see, this is what the tiny does, because it automatically will scroll it to the top. So when I hover over something, I'd say that's the highlighted index, and it's like, okay, I'll scroll that, and it scrolls it to the top. So that's what's going on there. But with React Virtualized, it works great. It just scrolls it exactly where I want it to, and I can hit Shift down and up, and that'll skip by 5. Power user feature, woo! And it's like super, whoa! It's pretty crazy. It's cool stuff. And then I can be like, choose something, yay! I think that's pretty cool. Okay, so but this is the one I want to link to. Live demo here, and the example code is go to tiny here. Thanks. Okay, and this is 19. Good. So now this thing links properly. Yeah, good. Okay, cool. Okay, so what do I made a change. Let's make sure that still works. Oops. Oh, interesting. I busted something. This needs to be -1. And rebuilding, bundling. Yeah, more work. Honestly, I don't really care, because I don't have a use case for either one of these libraries. But yeah, so if somebody wants to work on that, that'd be pretty cool. But let's see. I'm gonna link to this here. Okay, I think that I've solved all the issues. There is, as far as I am able, there is a slight problem with React virtual or tiny virtual, whatever, blah blah blah. This thing. Oops. Beep, 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 beep. That. Note. The React virtualized works just fine. Wink. Ha ha ha. Okay, beep. Beep. I'll just check those off. Okay. Okay. So I think get item count. So this means, because I do have this logic here, I now need to test this, because I'm not just using declarative default props anymore. So we're going to add test for, this would be, where is this? This is probably in the input key management stuff. So let's see, we'll put it around here. Wait, no. Have test highlighted index uses the given item count prop to determine the last index. So yeah, something like that. Anyway, so we're gonna do pretty much this. Right here, I got my child spy. So I'm going to simulate a key up. Do arrow up. That should just open the menu, I think. So if I go basic up, that just opens it, and then the next step will, yeah. So actually, if I do component, yeah, this spreads the props, so I will just start it out as open. Is open true. And then we just need one of these. Arrow up, and before we do that, we'll do mock clear, and then we'll say it was called, actually I don't care, because we're just asserting the last call, highlighted index, and here is a item count 20 or 200. Highlighted index should be 199. Const item count equals 200. Just to make that relationship a little bit more clear. And oh yeah, and let's update the README while I'm running the test. Just to make sure we've got all that. Get item count should be item count. Number optional defaults to the number of items or of times you call get item props. Yep. Okay, cool. I feel better about that. I didn't really like calling a function for that. So, and that test passed, sweet. So now let's do, just look at the diff really quick. Item count, added a test. Item count, remove that. Add a get item count, call that. Oh, okay. This is why we look at our diff, kids. Get item count. Don't need to call it with anything. Okay, get add that and commit all the things. Get rid of this. Oh, and actually one thing that I probably should do also is on these windowing examples, not controlled is open state. Okay, this is good. We're getting pretty close. I say that a lot, but we really are. So I started this stream several hours ago, and I looked at the, I have Audacity open, and I have it like showing me my microphone like monitoring thing, so it shows me left and right channels. When I started, they were like exactly perfectly aligned, and now they are slightly different, and that's kind of annoying. So I don't think my kids are coming in here messing with my knobs. I think it just like changes randomly. So I'll try to fix that. Hold on. Yeah, that's a little bit better. That's super duper annoying. I wonder if it like moves over time somehow, or if it like the electricity changes in some way. I don't know. It's confusing. Okay, so this fix, I guess, whatever, change get item count to item count prop. Again. Oh, that's should be gone from both of them, but it's not. That's weird. Probably is fine. Get add and get amend no verify. Get push. Actually, you know what? We're just gonna check out master get merge pr break things. Get push that, and then we're gonna vim the package JSON. We're gonna release rc3. Get commit rc.3 npm publish tag rc and get push. Okay, cool. So while that's all finishing up, let's just look. We've got just a couple issues there that don't need to do anything with those in particular, and those either. So cool. Now I need to get back to implementing this at work, and I'm not going to live stream that. So I am done for right now. If I'm going to live stream later, then I will be certain to tweet that out. Yeah, between then and now, it'd be awesome if I could get some more folks testing out the RC. Just like, what would really help is if you could re-implement the API of React AutoSuggest, React Select, like just take all of the other React autocomplete components and drop-down components and see if you can re-implement their API on top of this primitive. And if you can do that, then I think we are in a pretty solid spot. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all later. Bye.